Hey everybody, my name is Paul Esden Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to the Jet Zone, a weekly New York Jets podcast with new episodes every Wednesday. You can listen to just the audio of this podcast wherever you get your podcast. It is uploaded later, but we do it live every week, simultaneously streaming on 3 different platforms: the Jet Zone Facebook page, the Jet Zone Twitter account, and of course, youtube.com/boygreen25. And no matter where you're watching, show your support for the show and for the channel by hitting the like button and hitting subscribe down below on YouTube. And also feel free to throw a like and a follow on the Facebook and Twitter account if you will. And again, this is an interactive show. So throughout today's show, if you're listening live to the program and watching us live, then feel free to drop a topic or question in the comments down below, and we will get to you on the program because there is a lot to get to here on the show, and we'll set it up with a quick itinerary for today's program. First off, there's some new intel on the Zach Wilson dating drama. We're going to check in with his mother. Yes, more on that on a viral clip from earlier today on my Twitter account. Plus, Zach Wilson finally spoke on all this. We were kind of curious what he was going to say. We've now heard from Zach Wilson. More on that. Plus, Zach Wilson has revealed, remember, back at Mandatory Minicamp a month ago, he said that he was going to be hosting a passing camp and really just kind of a great team bonding event, really, with all his teammates doing extracurricular activities, wink, and a variety of other things. So Zach Wilson revealed a slew of pictures and videos. We're going to bring those to you here on the show, just in case you haven't missed them, just in case you're not on the gram, because that's where the majority of everything is. We're going to walk you through the Instagram story and take you through all the cool pictures and videos and give you all kinds of comments, behind the scenes access on all of that stuff as well. But without further ado, let's dive into the latest drama happening up here, and that is with Zach Wilson's mother, of course. So we're going to roll the footage. This is from Zach Wilson's mother's Instagram, Lisa Wilson, according to Lisa, but I clipped it up for our Twitter folks, and again, here's what happened, okay? Lisa Wilson, on her Instagram story, posted a video of what my fiance tells me is a spin class. I'm going to be honest, I'm not aware of whatever that is, but it's some sort of workout thing. And his mother, Zach Wilson's mother, is leading said event. And there's a bunch of women in the room. And, well, let's just play the clip and you can judge it, I suppose, for yourself.
Look how sexy my friends are. All the sexy, badass people got out of bed today. Check out these over here. Crank it up, you guys. Crank it up. Say good morning.
Wow. So in case you missed the audio of that, so Lisa Wilson, Zach Wilson's mother, went on her Instagram story, and she's running what my fiance calls a spin class. Again, I wasn't sure what that was, but that's why you have insiders to give you those kind of scoops. So she's running this class, and she shows the room of women that they, I don't want to generalize, say they're all moms, but she said, hey, look how sexy my friends are. Again, in reference to Zach Wilson, in case you've been living under a rock. Zach Wilson broke up with his ex-girlfriend earlier this year, and then now his ex-girlfriend is dating his former best friend, roommate, and teammate at BYU, Dex Milne, and he posted on his Instagram all the dating drama saying, hey, I'm dating Abby Guile, who was Zach Wilson's ex-girlfriend. And then when people were lighting up Abby about being a quote-unquote homie hopper, kind of jumping between friends, she says, Zach Wilson's a real homie hopper. He slept with his mother's best friend. Oh, my. What is this, Jerry Springer, the Jet Zone version? Who knows? And instead of it backfiring the way that I think Abby thought it would, Zach Wilson actually got a lot of street cred for apparently banging somebody's mom. So there you have it. And now Lisa Wilson, his mother, goes on her Instagram account and start saying, hey, here's my sexy friends. And look at all these sexy, badass people who got up, and people are just laughing their tush off that they don't even believe that's real. It absolutely is. It came from, according to Lisa on Instagram. What a follow that is, by the way. I never thought I'd be following a player's mom on Instagram, but, well, here we are, 2022, I suppose. with all that being said, that's the latest in the drama. Let's give a shout out to Jay-Z Jet fan. What's up, Boy Green, and everyone else who's watching and visiting the Jet Zone again, a weekly New York Jets podcast, talking all things New York Jets and, well, some stuff after the fact. And Zach Wilson, by the way, he's been radio silent. Outside of that weird thing with Barstool Sports, he's been radio silent. And we didn't really know what his take was on all this. And to be honest, I was kind of curious how he was going to respond because, of course, no matter what he says now, he is going to be asked about this at training camp. And, he seems to be getting a lot of cool points, which is great for his brand. And so, anywho, Zach Wilson came out to Instagram and he gave a very interesting thing. So let's throw that up on the big board. This is Zach Wilson on Instagram breaking his silence on all the mama drama here. This is on Zach Wilson's Instagram. And you'll see this picture. We'll actually go through the pictures in just a second, but the caption is, took the boys to Gazer Ranch in Idaho before camp. Poor cell service. What did I miss? And I got to tell you, brilliant job by Zach Wilson to do this because, to make a light joke and just say, hey, what's going on, as opposed to being, it's funny because we just have to say it. We just have to be honest with ourselves. That there are perceptions based on where people come from. Zach Wilson is a BYU guy, okay? And we think that, I'm going to generalize here, but we think that Zach Wilson is this buttoned up guy who isn't really out there. He looks like a 12-year-old boy, for Pete's sake, when he was drafted. And we're like, man, look at this guy. Does he have the moxie for New York? Does he have the swagger? Does he have the it factor for New York? A lot of us ask this question. Can he handle the transition from BYU to New York? Now, the media market in BYU is a lot better than people, or a lot stronger than people give credit for, but obviously it's nothing like New York. However, to see Zach Wilson addressed in this way, to me, I thought was hilarious. What did I miss? A fun little joke to say, hey, what's going on? And we all know what's going on. He will address it, of course, at training camp as well. But tip of the cap to how Zach Wilson responded to all of this. Now, since we're on his Instagram, we're going to do a deep dive into his passing camp. Again, he invited a bunch of people out to Gazer Ranch in Idaho. And we'll walk you through some of the photos from his post, and there's a lot more in his story about all the teammates that he invited out. So here's Zach Wilson throwing a pass with the guy he nicknames Daddy, Joe Flacco, with the quarterback room, the veteran there. So you see a bunch of his teammates here. We got Garrett Wilson, Trayvon Wesco, Joe Flacco, CJ Uzama, as I'm been told by Bengals fans, CJ Uzama. So I'll work on that. You got Elijah Moore there, Braxton Berrios, and I believe that's DJ Montgomery, who's the last guy there, I believe. So there you go. You got a variety of the guys, some of the skill players and whatnot that were invited out. Now, the important thing here for Zach Wilson is this wasn't purely a just passing camp and let's move on. He made it very clear at mandatory minicamp that almost the activities off the field would be just as important, if not more important, more más importante than the passing camp that was happening, because passing camp, they've been doing it the entire time. They've been doing this thing the entire time. Think about it. So they met up and were doing their things on their own. Remember Zach Wilson's concert tour, Nashville, Florida, Arizona. They were doing all that. Then you had all the organized team activities. So you had voluntary OTAs, mandatory minicamp. And then, of course, Zach Wilson did some extra stuff with his teammates there on out. And then they have this. So, again, the passing camp element, which a lot of people, I think, overrate in a sense. It's great. You can only get more chemistry. It can't hurt to have too much work with another teammate. But it does seem like the activities are the thing that really help here. So, again, a collection of offensive players that we just walked through who are out there. You see a nice shot here of CJ Uzama, again, doing this wave action here where the boat's going. You're holding on to the thing, doing crazy tricks and whatnot. I'm going to be honest. I am somewhat, naive. I don't really know how any of this stuff works, but it looks like they're having a good time. All the body vest and stuff. And this looks like an album cover. We'll see the same photo on his Instagram story in black and white. That could very much be an album cover here again. I know that's the three from the right moving to the left. There are Braxton Berrios, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore. Again, I believe that last one's DJ Montgomery, who's been there throughout all of their events. I believe. If I have that last one mistaken, I'm not as not. It just doesn't ring many bells, but I'm pretty sure that's DJ Montgomery here. So great. You get all the weapons out there. And then Trayvon Wesco, who apparently is quite the dude in the room. Like everyone, I don't think gives Trayvon Wesco all the credit. Like he's this blocking guy, this like H-back quasi everything, tight end, fullback, everything. Apparently he's a party animal from what I hear from some of the Jets teammates. So there he is doing some of this action, getting kind of crazy. Have all the boys, cooking, some marshmallows, having some fun. They have this massive place at Gaza Ranch, and they're eating people. So look at that. That's wonderful. Zach Wilson, Braxton Berrios with the bromance hug, and of course Braxton Berrios re-signs this offseason 2-year deal for $12 million. I mean, that's beautiful. That is just beautiful. Love it. Zach Wilson, Braxton Berrios, the best bromance that's out there. And then a bunch more of the guys here. Again, we have all the same guys here. Again, from moving left to right, we have Braxton Berrios, Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, Trayvon Wesco, who I believe is DJ Montgomery in the back right-hand corner, Garrett Wilson right there, and then in the front, crouching, Elijah Moore on the left, and CJ Uzama on the right. Again, getting all these guys out there to party. Look at that action shot of Garrett Wilson. And speaking of Garrett Wilson, real quick, as we're kind of doing a weird diatribe here, Garrett Wilson was the first receiver taken in the first round by the Jets in 21 freaking years. But and I feel like the more people are talking about it, maybe the more love that he's getting. But still, there's just not enough love for a receiver who's taken with the 10th overall pick. Now, again, the Jets had a lot of really high picks. They had Breece Hall, who's getting a lot of love in the Offensive Rookie of the Year category. You have Sauce Gardner, who almost has his own orbit in terms of the activity he is able to command from that perspective. So I understand that. Jermaine Johnson was a crazy trade. Like, how did he fall that far? So I guess being sandwiched in the middle hurt him, and the fact that I think a lot of people saw that one coming. Sauce was a surprise. The Jermaine Johnson trade-up was a surprise. The Breece Hall pick was a surprise. So maybe he's just been kind of buried in the middle there from that perspective. So that could be kind of ultimately what happened. But, man, Garrett Wilson is a dude, man. When you see some of those highlights where the ball comes up and he just does whatever he has to do, which feeds into the body control of just getting his body in a position that most people, including me and you watching at home, don't have the capabilities of hauling in. I mean, Garrett Wilson is a gosh darn freak. Let's just make that clear. And then just a nice kind of video shot here. Zach Wilson kind of showing the sights and sounds, the beauty of what is out there in Idaho, which, by the way, Idaho I've never been to, but seems like a beautiful place. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at Zach Wilson's Instagram. There are many more pictures and videos of all this, so let's dive in here, which, by the way, we'll pause every once in a while. What about Wayne Gretzky, baby? Yeah, the Wayne Gretzky, hockey legend. He said, quote, "It was nice to meet Zach Wilson and watch him practice with his teammates in Idaho. What a great young man. Man, again, the cool factor for Zach Wilson. That's Wayne freaking Gretzky, man. I mean, for Pete's sake." And there you go from Zach Wilson with the caption, "The absolute greatest there is. Appreciate you taking care of the boys." Great stuff there. Wayne freaking Gretzky. Wow, that's cool. And we'll keep going here as we're on the Instagram story. By the way, Zach Wilson, for those who don't know, former basketball player with the raindrop shot. How many of us, right? We're playing some backyard basketball and we go ball in or raindrop, or as I do, Kobe. And then the fading hand. Very nice here. Very nice here from old Zach Wilson on the money. I love that shot. That's a beautiful shot. And then the next one here, I believe, was with him and Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco getting in there. And, I got to admit, you got to admit when you're wrong. I think that's key in life. And I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I don't like to be wrong. I'm not sure who does. But Joe Flacco, when there were flirtations, there's been flirtations with Joe Flacco a couple of times. Because remember, he gets traded to Denver. And people are like, oh, man, he'd be the perfect veteran backup quarterback, remember? But to me, I thought he was a douche. I'm just going to be blunt, okay? He was there with Lamar Jackson. So Lamar Jackson gets drafted with the 32nd overall pick in that 2018 draft class that we took Sam Darnold. Great story. And anywho, there were reports that when Lamar Jackson came into the quarterback room, Joe Flacco was a jerk. He's like, I'm not teaching this guy. He could go learn on his own. And, that kind of creates its own divisive nature among the fans, where half of them say it's not his job to be the coach. And the other half say, yeah, come on, can you just be a good dude, man? Just bring him under your wing. He's going to replace you eventually. Obviously, he was a first-round pick. But anywho, and then in Denver, I heard bad stories about him being kind of a jerk with the young quarterbacks in the room. So I'm like, I want nothing to do with Joe Flacco with the New York Jets. And then there's obviously the Joe Douglas connection. So ultimately, Joe Flacco comes over, and I'm like, oh, boy, this guy's going to be a real tool bag. And to be honest, again, to be honest about it, Joe Flacco's been great for the room. He stepped in when called upon, and he's had some moments. I remember I think that was 2020. Yeah, it had to have been. So 2020, right? He has to step in that New England game and throw some dimes, kind of looks around, former Super Bowl MVP, of course. So he's got a little chutzpah to him, no question about it. But I'm going to be honest, totally wrong. I thought he was going to be a jerk, terrible for the room. And Zach Wilson seems to be in love with Joe Flacco. Joe Douglas loves Joe Flacco. Robert Saleh thinks the world of Joe Flacco. So I got to say, again, it's important to admit when you're wrong. And I certainly had to do that. So there you go, Joe Flacco in the basketball shop there. Garrett Wilson, and for folks who don't know, I've got a video out my channel. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do the entire draft class, unfortunately, just kind of the nature of the beast. But I did a series on my YouTube channel. You can find it in my playlist. It's called Meet the Fleet. And for several of the top draft picks for the New York Jets, I spoke to an insider from wherever they came from. And what I did was to learn more about him, so you fans could learn more about him. We have a video on the channel on Garrett Wilson, and I got to be honest, guys, Garrett Wilson received D1 offers. He could have been a basketball player if he wanted to. He's, of course, got it in his blood. His father was a really good basketball player. Like, Garrett Wilson could have been a basketball star, and ultimately he picks football. Not a bad choice. And you see, again, he was the 10th overall pick. So Garrett Wilson, you're taking a jump shot. Garrett Wilson is a freaky good basketball player. Watch some of that tape out there. So Garrett Wilson here with that nice shot. Got to give a shout out there. And then again, the frolicking, which again, we keep seeing this receiver in here, I believe. Maybe someone can confirm to me. I believe that's DJ Montgomery. You have Joe Flacco there. Again, the hanging out is sometimes even more important than the football. This is according to Zach Wilson at mandatory minicamp. Again, for all these guys to kind of stay loose and, get to know one another. This is the beautiful Gaza Ranch that they stayed at. And got to, I believe they were able to sleep here, hang out here, and they were there for like a weekend of all hanging out and, again, getting to work out and do other activities, which you're going to see on this Instagram story. Again, more shots here. Zach Wilson, Trayvon Wesco, CJ Uzama, and these guys hanging out. Another basketball shot. Zach Wilson, again, another former basketball player. You got the smile there going. Again, we talk about the beefy Zach Wilson. I don't think I've ever, spent more time analyzing another dude's body before. But again, 2022, here we are. And there is Zach Wilson with the definition in that lower half, which again can only help him stay healthy next season. Zach Wilson with the jumper. And then again, raindrop, booyah, Kobe. Joe Flacco. The form looks a little weird, but he's a big, lanky bastard. He's like 6'5", 6'6", or something. So Joe Flacco. And I apologize as I'm realizing this. For all our audio-only listeners, you will have no idea what I'm showing you because you cannot see the visual of this. So I do apologize for those listeners who are not quite getting that effect. So I will try to continue to describe what I'm seeing so you guys can see it. Again, we're walking through, if you're just joining us, Zach Wilson's Instagram. There's a million photos and videos. And we're showing you some behind-the-scenes access of what Zach Wilson's passing camp and hangout was. So hopefully we could still give you guys the full effect for all those that are simply just watching or listening, later to the Jet Zone audio broadcast. And continuing on here on the Instagram story account, we had Trayvon Wesco, who, again, is like, to Jet fans, so like if he makes a roster, whatever. But like, again, the Jets people inside the locker room freaking love Trayvon Wesco. So just a little tip there. Trayvon Wesco with the basketball on the slides. Very nice. And Joe Flacco. And also, this isn't tennis. It's like racquetball or something. It's not racquetball. I don't know what it is. They're like, they got a tennis ball. There's a shot here of Joe Flacco and this very small racket. I'm not quite sure the game that they're playing here. This is a sport that eludes me, but Joe Flacco getting in some of that work and Zach Wilson walking off the court as well. It could just be tennis, but with a smaller rack, perhaps, and some more Zach Wilson shots there. As he's kind of looking around, you got Joe Flacco in here. Very nice. The veteran quarterback showing a little swag. Garrett Wilson, once again, with the basketball. And I bet he dominated. I don't believe there's any Garrett Wilson basketball video footage, at least from Zach Wilson's Instagram. But Garrett Wilson, dude, is again a baller. That's all I can say there. And after we get through all these stories, we'll jump back, or all the story from Zach Wilson, we'll jump back into the comments. So if you guys are watching, feel free to drop questions, topics, comments here on the show, and we'll get to all that here on the program as well. as we continue here again, another beautiful video shot of Zach Wilson, sights and sounds for him and his teammates at Gaza Ranch. Very nice. You got to love it. Again, the mountains are beautiful. I did that on my own vacation. I used to go to Conway, New Hampshire, a little bit in North Conway, New Hampshire with my family. And wow, it's beautiful. It's just peaceful, which is really nice. We don't have that on the schedule this year. But CJ Uzama, again, he's going to be a freak. He's one of my favorite additions. I know Tyler Conklin's great. He's been on our channel before. But again, CJ Uzama, I think, is going to be a freak. Zach Wilson throwing around the football. Again, great definition. You could get a great look at the body that he's been able to develop. And there goes Zach Wilson unleashing a pass and going through. I am so excited for the season. I don't think I could be more excited for the season. I am. Another Garrett Wilson shot here, an action shot of him after catching a football, smiling it up. Elijah Moore with the hands. Again, Elijah Moore. How did he fall to the second round? None of us know. DJ Montgomery, I believe, is this mysterious extra players here. And again, I teased you guys about this. The black and white photo of DJ Montgomery, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, and Braxton Berrios all posing. It feels very album-y. You tell me what that album is. That's what I want to know. So good stuff there. CJ Uzama, action shot of catching a football. Again, he's going to be a beast, both a locker room leader and a guy behind the scenes who I believe will be able to make a little magic and bring that to the table here as well. Very talented player. Braxton Berrios, of course. And again, people, I think, underrate Braxton Berrios and what he's going to bring to the table. I think, people say, wow, they're this many deep at wide receiver. Wow. You know what? Maybe Braxton Berrios is less of a factor. I don't think so. You pay a man for a reason. I think he's going to be a gadget player. I think he's going to relieve the big three as they're kind of cycling in and out. As we all know, injuries happen. So you're going to have old Braxton Berrios there ready to make things happen. From that perspective. And I'm hearing, I want to bring this up by Anthony G, pickleball. That could be. I've never played pickleball before. It could be pickleball. You could be onto something, Anthony. Squash. I'm hearing a lot of suggestions here. I'm not sure. That's a great question here as we peek into some of the comments here. Let's see. Let's just kind of go through some of these. Yes, I'm all over MILFgate. That's correct, Andy P. Thank you. You have to. Let's see. Just jump into a couple of the comments here. Jay Spector, if Trayvon Wesco sees the field, we're in serious trouble. I think, again, we'll see. I am really rooting for like a Lawrence Cager to make the roster at tight end, but that means that you have to get funky, like, not eliminate the fullback necessarily, but who's going to be, is it Nick Bawden? Is it Trayvon Wesco? Like, what decision do they make there? So no, if he sees the field, I don't think we're in serious trouble because he's more so in that fullback role as opposed to a true tight end anymore, to be, to speak out of turn, perhaps. It seems like that's the case more than CJ Uzama, Tyler Conklin, then like Wesco coming in. And they have Jeremy Ruckert, of course, as well, who's doing like a live autograph signing right now with the great folks over at Jets Lounge. But that's someone as well. David D, it looks like they'll be playing pickleball, which would be appropriate for Zach. Doo-doo-da. Very nice there. Jets gang, if I see through all the footage that I saw before the show and current the show, Denzel Mims not there. Denzel Mims just posted on his Instagram story. It looks like he's down there in Florida doing his own thing, which, that's fine. Other people are doing their own thing. So I do not see Mims. All the people are asking Mims. I did not see it. And wow, Emma Moore's pickleball is full-size ping pong. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Jay Spector, same thing. Pickleball is a combination of tennis and ping pong. Wow. That sounds fun. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So Mikey M Music, I would almost guarantee that is pickleball. Huge in Utah these days. Wow. Okay. I need to expand my horizons on some of these extracurricular sports. That's cool. Oh, wow. All you guys are pickleball experts. Phenomenal. This is great content here. Everyone commenting in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, again, wherever you're watching, drop a question, drop a topic, drop a comment. We're looking through Zach Wilson's Instagram story, which is behind the scenes on this Jets passing camp he just had. I'm just dropping some nuggets as we're walking through. Nick Russo on YouTube. Pickleball is a mini tennis court played with a paddle and a wiffle ball-like ball. The ball they had is a tennis ball, so maybe it isn't pickleball, but it looked like Joe Flacco had an actual tennis ball, so maybe it's not, but it's really cool, really interesting. Wow, pickleball has a pro league. Wow. Okay, the more you know. Man, that's fantastic. All right, we'll jump back into the comments in a second. Let's get back over to the Instagram story again. Elijah Moore catching a pass. I think he's going to be a stud this year. The key for Elijah Moore, and we haven't really talked about this, is being healthy. And the fact of the matter is, it's unfortunate. Braxton Berrios was the star of camp last year in the summer. He gets hurt, hurts his quad, out for the entire preseason. Super Debbie Downer, because I was looking forward to seeing, wow, let's see him against some competition here. He ends up playing week 1, but obviously he's nowhere near the same player. It takes until like mid-season, a handful of games before he even finds himself. Then the end of the year, gets hurt. But for a 5 to 6 week stretch, he was one of the best receivers in football. And think about all the rando quarterbacks that are throwing in the ball. I think, again, Elijah Moore can be a superstar. He's got that kind of talent. There's just no question about it. So he is phenomenal. So again, the key for him is, of course, staying healthy. That is the big key to all of this, quite frankly. Let's see here. Again, Elijah Moore, great body shot here. Ripped, catching some footballs. Very nice. And then it was nice. I've not heard the extra details on this. I'll have to dig in on this. Garrett Wilson is shown here with several of the Braxton Berrioses and others playing out there with kids. So I don't know if they invited them to a football camp, do a little action. I've not heard that yet. Again, all of this is fresh, and then we just jumped on to do the show. So I'll do more digging. Pay attention at BoyGreen25 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, of course, you can check out my work on the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com, and I cover the team with articles and things of that nature. So we'll try to have some more on that in just a little bit. By the way, also, got to throw this out there, is that if you're watching, make sure you show your support wherever you're watching. Like the YouTube video, baby. Show your support. Hit subscribe. We're well over 2,000 subscribers, and we have all kinds of shows. Live streams like this, interviews. We just had Connor Rogers on the show earlier this week for a nice 40 minutes, talking Jets training camp and players they should sign, players they could trade off the roster, some fun stuff there, and some pre-recorded videos as well, like Quentin Williams calling out Rich Samini and other things of that nature. So check out all the variety on the channel. That'd be great. So again, this, I believe, was them inviting kids out for like a mini camp, and we'll get more into that later. I'll try to get some more info for an article. Again, more Trayvon Wesco here catching the ball. Again, he's a versatile guy coming out of West Virginia. He should be able to provide a little chutzpah. We haven't necessarily seen it. They haven't executed him quite in that way at the NFL level, and that's somewhat unfortunate. But you have Garrett Wilson throwing around the football with a couple of kids. That's nice. It's nice that they kind of worked that in. Braxton Berrios looking like a proud dad here in this photo shot with the arms crossed. Again, more of the kids being able to kind of play around here. And then again, the bromance shot, Zach Wilson and Braxton Berrios. The bromance we never knew was a thing. And again, every quarterback has that favorite guy, and Braxton Berrios could certainly be that guy from that perspective. And then the video here of them doing all the crazy stuff where, again, the boat's going. You got the people laying on I think it's wave boarding maybe. You got Trayvon Wesco here on the shot, and, you know, he's doing all the boats going at a certain speed. He's kind of riding the waves and doing crazy shots and stuff of that nature. That looks cool. Zach Wilson, okay, he's doing – I've never done this before, but I hear this is a popular activity, physical, fun. You know, he could do a little bit of everything from that perspective. So there you go. CJ Uzama getting in on the fun, having fun, doing some of these physical activities. Elijah Moore with the flex photo. Again, he's in great shape. Braxton Berrios in good shape doing this. Elijah Moore laying out on the beach, playing some golf, another event. So think about all the events we've seen so far. So you may have gotten here like pickleball, basketball, football, golf. I mean, wow, they're really getting the variety in the diet as far as that's concerned. So very interesting stuff there from all the sports. So some golf. I'm a mini golf guy, not quite a golf guy. But, hey, you know what? I don't mind the sights and sounds. I've been on a golf course like once, and it seems cool. So, again, to kind of get the, hang out with the boys are back in town, Thin Lizzy. You know what I mean? So it's great. Eating marshmallows. That's awesome. Elijah Moore with the lit up marshmallows. Zach Wilson with the roasting of the marshmallows. Braxton Berrios, someone got all the great action shots here. The guys having fun. Really neato. There again, another shot of again this ranch that they were on in Idaho, which is great. All these guys hanging out nighttime, hanging out, telling stories, and getting those fun stories. And Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson throwing around the football here, one-handed catch by Trayvon Wesco. That's very nice. A lot of these photos in here. Zach Wilson and Braxton or Joe Flacco kind of making calls out. Trayvon Wesco kind of missing the ball there, but Elijah Moore and all these guys working. That's cool. The video of them all eating. Wow, there's some alcoholic drinks going on here. Very nice. Wow, what a great spread. Nice food and drink here in Idaho. I missed my invite. That's fun. And Zach Wilson, Braxton, selfie shot. Come on, that's amazing. How can you not like that? Them coming out on the boat. Again, more sights and sounds. All the guys hanging out and a bunch of guys posing. Elijah Moore, Zach Wilson there. Finally, Trayvon Wesco on some sort of motor scooter, getting that action. And booyah, that's it, folks. So that was it. A big deep dive into the Zach Wilson passing camp / basketball / pickleball, maybe doing it, basketball, golf, football, all this stuff. What an awesome team bonding event. And again, in case you missed the top of the show, everybody, for those who are just joining us, there's a lot of streams happening tonight with the Jeremy Ruckert live stream at the Jets Lounge and the Jet Zone being later than normal. We don't normally record this late, but kind of the nature of today's activities. But in case you missed it, guys, just kind of a roundabout thing here. Again, check out my Twitter @BoyGreen25 for the Lisa Wilson story. It's also, if you're not a Twitter person, it's on Heavy on Jets. If you go to that website, heavy.com, go to the Jets section. I have an article about it. But Lisa Wilson, his mom, getting in on all the Zach Wilson stuff. And Zach Wilson finally spoke on all of this. And Zach Wilson, I don't have it in front of me anymore, but essentially saying, hey, man, I had bad reception. I was out with the boys. What I miss. And just a great response to all of this, which obviously is going to be asked about by the time camp is coming. All right, let's go through a bunch of these comments here. Let's catch back up, and I can answer any questions or topics you guys have before we get out of here. Let's see. Anthony G on YouTube. Welcome to the show, pal. Could you line Ruckert back there as the fullback? Imagine a 22 formation with CJ, Gronk, and Ruckert all in the field at the same time. Green bean fantasy lineup. That's true. And by the way, there was some great footage. Oh man, it was Mike LaFleur. So on Flight 2022, I clipped this up a while back. It was from the extra Flight 2022. They released extra clips because it was such a raving success. And he showed what Jeremy Ruckert did at Ohio State. And it's not even as a receiver, which obviously I think there's so much untapped potential there. But purely as a blocker, he is nasty. To be a blocker, you have to want it. You have to outwill somebody. You have to physically just overwhelm them. And Jeremy Ruckert just loves blocking the crap out of dudes. It's just simple as day. And Mike LaFleur showed some of the same blocking concepts they do when he just comes up and clean blocks up the middle, whether you follow him up as a fullback, which again could be quasi. So you could do this maybe. Again, seems like the Jets teammates love Trayvon Wesco, and it seems like the Jets staff really likes Nick Bodden. But if you wanted to go Jeremy Ruckert to make sure you get him on the field, you could move him as your quasi fullback. Now, maybe they don't do that because if Ruckert gets hurt, then all of a sudden you're out of a fullback. So maybe they still keep Bodden or Wesco on top of Ruckert, but you could kind of mix them in and try to, kind of adapt the lineup from that perspective. But imagine that, Anthony. You're right. Jeremy Ruckert is a nasty blocker. And I think that's how he's going to be used a lot. And I think that's going to almost lull defenses into a false sense of, oh, he's just a blocker every time he comes in. Then booyah, he's 6'5", 250. And he's got that soccer goalie background, so he can kind of have that massive wingspan to go make plays happen. So again, Jeremy Ruckert, again, we don't talk about it because we're like, oh, wow, throw that in the pool. But it's only because the Jets just made this massive overhaul of the tight end position, or else Jeremy Ruckert would be the talk of the town. Some people had him. Now, I think this one's a little crazy, but some people had Jeremy Ruckert as the number one tight end. I thought it was pretty clear as day that it was Trey McBride, I thought was a consensus number one tight end. But some people, so it's not complete consensus, some people had Jeremy Ruckert. But the fact of the matter is that they got a lot of talented guys, and I'm excited about it. Jay Spector, with these weapons, this team needs to put up 30 per game, no excuses. Now, I think there's going to be, again, on the weapon side, it feels like a Pro Bowl team. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic or over the top, but man, Trayvon Wesco, he is on the team. That's not who I was going to say. But, Tyler Conklin, CJ Uzomah, you have Jeremy Ruckert. So you're three deep at tight end. And I even like Lawrence Cager, Kenny Bow, and some of those other guys. So we'll kind of see what kind of develops there. At wide receiver, you're four deep with Braxton Berrios, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis. And then you have the other guys, right? So Jeff Smith, DJ Montgomery, who the team really likes. You have Denzel Mims, who we'll have to find out about all that. And then the running game of Michael Carter, Brees Hall, wow. And then the offensive line, which I really love, and we could get into this, but Mekhi Becton, George Fant at tackle. Laika Tomlinson, AVT at guard, and then Connor McGovern at center. Like, this offense is really solid. Now, to jump to 30 per game when last season they were, like 18 points per game or something, like something terrible. They were near the bottom of the league. Like, I don't know if it's like this, just a snap of the fingers to bring that to the table, but I think this offense is going to be much improved, as it should be, quite frankly. And I'm really curious to see kind of how Mike LaFleur kind of makes it happen. Anthony G, again, a reminder, smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. And even if you're not watching on YouTube, guys, you should hop on over to the YouTube, even if you watch it on our Facebook or Twitter page, or listen to the audio after the fact. YouTube is a lot of fun. You never miss out. So anytime we bring something up on the show, like videos, pictures, things of that nature, and interactions with all of you, you guys can see it. So make sure you smash the like button. Makes a huge difference, baby. You can also, if you're on YouTube, you can super chat, which you send a monetary tip. You throw a little change into my tin can on the side of the road, and you guarantee that your comment gets answered. And, of course, it supports the channel for us to do a lot of really cool things, which we have some exciting things planned for the season. I hope you guys really like it. Matthias, one more week, boys. That's right. It's actually less than a week away. I believe the Jets rookies report in 6 days as recording of this, July 13th. I believe they report on July 19th. So all the rookies, and then a week later is veterans, and then boom, the next day. So it's rookies report. I believe that's the 19th. The player veterans report, that's the 26th. I believe the first practice is the next day. So, guys, we are right around the corner. We've powered through this. We did not take any breaks for the Jet Zone. Every single week, we've been here for you with live interviews like Connor Rogers, Jericho Cotchery this offseason, which was really cool. That's a bucket list item for me. And we've done our live streams every week of the Jet Zone, and then pre-recorded fun videos like the Quinnen Williams thing and the Mekhi Becton video or anything of that nature. It's been a lot of fun. Let's see. Jay Spector, geez, with the Jets and injuries, these guys should be kept in a bubble. So I knew some people were not going to be happy with all the crazy activities they were doing, because I've seen some horrible accident stories with the waveboarding thing where people can slip and get really hurt. So thankfully, it did not seem any of that happened, but I don't blame you. Like, for instance, Carl Lawson. I know we have a lot of joint practices. We had the Jets-Giants one, which was locked in, which is cool. It's the first time since, I think, 2005. If I saw that correctly, with the Giants joint practices, which is fun, and it was way chippy back then. So that was crazy. So Carl Lawson, though, should never touch a joint practice field. I'm just the heebie-jeebies. I don't know, but again, Carl Lawson should be bubble wrapped. And because, again, I don't want any injuries. I'd love for us to go to a season fully healthy, and we have the full vision of what everyone saw from the offense, defense, special teams, and everybody. So we can only hope. Hawk jumping in. What's up, guys? So many streams tonight. Glad to see the team hanging out. You got this. I love that. Yeah, there's a lot of great streams. Again, we got a great community here of Jets content creators, which is great, and shout out to them. Jay Spector, where are the running backs in this bonding weekend? Yeah, there were no running backs in attendance that I saw. But the fact of the matter is, it was probably unlikely that you got like a private jet. Well, although Zach Wilson JetBlue, I guess he could have. But it's, everyone has other things going on. Family time. This is a very short amount of time. The NFL is a crazy season construction for people that work in the NFL, both team reporters who I know some behind the scenes, and then also the players. Think about it. From like, whatever, call it the 19th, right? July 19th through the end of the season, that's like 6 months or something. And then you have a quick break, and then you're back to off-season training activity. You don't get a lot of time to yourself, is the point of this. So I don't really blame anyone for not 100% participation in a voluntary thing randomly in Idaho. It's fine. Where are the running backs? Not everyone's going to be there. That's just the fact of the matter. Now, some people are getting the Mims thing upset. He was at the Arizona one. He was not at the Florida or Nashville one in terms of the retreats and Zach Wilson extra practices. Again, guys, some of these, they're just going to have to show up. So, some of these guys are just going to have to show up. Some people would have loved to see Mims there and running backs there and everything else. I'm just glad that the people were there that were there. That's going to be great bonding and all of that. Hawk, I care exactly 0% about what Lisa has to say, honestly. Zach is a GOAT, and that is that. I'm going to be honest. I have not dabbled in any Lisa Wilson content until just this very moment. I know there was the hot Zach Wilson mom thing at the draft, whatever. I didn't really care about that. Or Carton's weird comment asking Zach Wilson about that. Like, dude, weird, man. Weird energy, I just have to say. But really, anytime she said anything, I've just kind of ignored it. I haven't written about it. I haven't done anything. But this one was just funny, so I thought I'd write about it this time. So I don't blame you. But a lot of people seem to care about the Lisa Wilson opinion. And hey, you know what? To each your own. From Drama Alert, Zach did nothing wrong. I've seen the mom's friends. Yeah, there's been a lot of pictures out there. So Zach Wilson seems to be doing good for himself. The jokes that were happening for that Lisa Wilson video I showed you guys earlier in the stream, and you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, you can actually rewind back to that if you want to go see it. We played the Lisa Wilson clip from my Twitter account. And some people were joking she's having a breeding ground. Like she's bringing all these moms in to work out, and then like Zach Wilson's like waiting outside. You people are weird, but I love it. It's phenomenal. Dakota with the JETS Jets chant. Welcome in. Matthias, defense wins championship. Let's go Jets. That's a big one for me. We'll see how long the leash is on Jeff Ulbrich. It seemed like after last season, which again was the first season of Robert Saleh, when Robert Saleh went on the Michael K show after the year, one of the questions was, so are you going to like fire Jeff Ulbrich or are you going to keep him? And Saleh like laughed it off like, dude, it's 1 year. What are we talking about here? So he backed his guy. So we'll see what it is ultimately, because Robert Saleh, a lot of people assume when Robert Saleh was hired, he would call the defense. And when he didn't, it was a little bit of a, whoa, okay, cut his teeth on that. He doesn't want to do it. And really the pitch was, I want to be a CEO. I want to cover, I'm a head coach, not a defensive coordinator. If I was defensive coordinator, I call the plays, but I'm not. So he brought in a guy he trusted, Jeff Ulbrich, and let's see. There was a lot of injuries last year, first year, and a variety of excuses, you could say. No excuses this time. Let's see what happens. We got Polixi. Hit subscribe for awesome stuff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Not going to lie, when I saw Zach Wilson, I saw an 18-year-old in the NFL draft. Yeah, he does look incredibly young. Let's see. Hawk. Zach went from 12-year-old with chicken legs to Quadzilla the MILF Hunter in one offseason. And look at, again, the cool factor is the biggest thing that I think has really helped Zach Wilson out. And, you know, we'll end it on this. If there's any last-second questions or comments, we'll get to those. But because we'll have to sign off here for the Jet Zone. And we'll be back, so make sure you guys stay on the channel. And the fact of the matter is this, like Jets free agents, there was a free agent story this offseason. I believe it was Mike Sando of The Athletic said like, wow, no one wants to play for the Jets. Like they have to pay more money for anyone to come and all this other jazz. And you know what? Whatever. You want that to be the story. That's fine, I guess. But the fact of the matter is the Jets have not been very good. They have one winning season in the last 11 years. They haven't been in the playoffs in 11 years. Like there's a lot of bad. So for Zach Wilson to have a bit of a cool factor here, I think it only help that players may want to play with Zach Wilson. Wow, this guy's cool. Awesome. The in fact, it can only help. It can't hurt. That's for sure. So I'm really looking forward to all of that. And it is really cool. The transformation from last year, oh, gee, I don't know. Here I am. To, yeah, baby. I'm messing around with moms, and I'm beefy. And then, well, okay, cool. Arrive Zach Wilson. Can they even have a bad season now? I feel like it's inevitable that they're going to the Super Bowl. But, you know, who knows what's going to happen from that perspective. So it's always great. Well, guys, I got to tell you, thank you so much for joining the stream tonight. It was fun. It was lively. It was amazing. And wow, some great interactions with you guys, a fan. Cool to go behind the scenes. Again, if you missed anything, you can recap the show, go to the beginning and watch the whole thing. And always remember, like the video, hit subscribe, tell a friend. We're trying to blow this channel up. We got a lot of fun things scheduled for this season. I hope you guys can be a part of it with almost daily shows. Once the Jets week starts, we'll have daily videos on the YouTube channel with fun guests and live streams and all kinds of fun stuff. And I'm hoping for the first time in a long time to actually talk football on these. We've talked, you know, the Jets have been out of it. They haven't had a September win since I think it's 2018. So the fact of the matter is we haven't talked a lot of football on the show for one reason or another, because they've just been out of it. Draft speculation, this, coaching fire, all that. I'm looking forward to the Jets being, I don't know, 3-0, 4-0, you know, whatever the record is, but 5-4, whatever. And then all of a sudden we're like, hey, we've got legitimate football to talk about. How about that play in the last game? That's what I'm looking forward to, and I can't wait. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in for the Jet Zone. We will see you next time right here on youtube.com/boygreen25, or, of course, if you're listening, to the Jet Zone on Sports World Radio. Thanks, everybody. Peace, baby.